Yeah. Well, keep going. I mean, it's their job to keep you straight. Right. I'm not saying you're not going to make it, but I have to.
You know, you look at me as if you look at my background, you look at who we came out of. Both have you met my family? You get a chance?
Yes,
to
they were the first ones.
So you know the good grounding I came out of. So
Yeah. Definitely do.
This is a video camera, Joe.
Oh, are we doing an interview?
This is a talkie.
This is a
Hey, this
one.
is
Okay.
this is William Owens with TeaPartyExpress.tv in beautiful Alaska, the last frontier. My first time in Alaska, standing here with none other than Joe Miller. Joe, let me just ask you bluntly, what motivated you to kick it up a notch and run for U.S. Senate?
In April, when I looked at the state of the nation, primarily the economic fruits of where we're at today, I knew that we were headed for disaster. And I, frankly, for my children, for the sake of the nation, I mean, I've been in combat, fought for this country, sacrificed in many respects, but I knew that if we didn't move this country forward in a way that could, I think, dramatically change the model of government, that we wouldn't have another election left to do it. I think this is really, we're at the precipice. We either act now or we end up with bankruptcy. We end up with a situation where people that would like to do us harm as a nation, people that don't really see our country as founded on constitutional freedoms, would take an opportunity, such as bankruptcy, to take control of the levers of power, kind of, I think, undercut the fundamentals that establish this nation. And my view of it is if we all don't go out there and try to do our part, if we have the opportunity, if God's given us the tools, if we don't use them, I think we're going to be held responsible for where this nation is headed.
What uniquely qualifies you to take it to this level and fight? Because it's a fight right now.
It is.
Washington is corrupt.
Absolutely.
The American people have lost their confidence in the political process. And they are putting their hope and confidence in these new candidates that are rising to the scene. What qualifies you for this fight?
I can't be bought. That's what it is fundamentally. And the opposition knows that too. That's one of the reasons why they're fighting so hard against us, is because they know that.
Right.
They know based upon my past history, not just as a combat veteran, but also in the work that I've done here in the state. I shouldn't say single-handedly, but I initiated an action trying to get rid of what I regard to be a corrupt party leadership in our Republican Party in 2008. Governor Palin joined that effort, and I continue to get backlash as a consequence of that. But the fact of the matter is, what we do as a candidate, what we do for the country, what I do as Joe Q. citizen, is designed to move this country ahead, move it ahead, notwithstanding, what the multinational corporations want, notwithstanding what the industrialists want, notwithstanding what the progressive left wants.
Okay.
We're independent. We're independent based in the Constitution. And if the Constitution says do it, then we say, okay, that's fine. But if the Constitution says don't, then we're going to fight as hard as we can to make sure that government is restrained and doesn't.
Well, I'd like to ask you to take maybe 15 to 20 seconds, maybe 30, and address the Tea Party Express community out there, TeaPartyExpress.tv, and tell them why you're doing this and in a personal way, and how they can support you on your website.
Well, I think that the primary reason why I'm doing this is because I look at my kids, I've got 8 of them, that don't have much of a future. This country continues down the trail that it's headed. And it's a trail of government expansion, a government of an entitlement state that basically doesn't teach people that you got to get ahead by your own effort, but says, look, you don't have to do anything and the government will continue to provide. But at the base of it is a lack of integrity, a lack of conviction that the Constitution is what this nation is founded on, and that this Constitution is based upon the concept that God gave us inalienable rights. And yet, the march of this government is toward more expansion, taking away those rights. As you empower government, you take away your rights. And so my kids, the future of this country is dependent on what we do now. We either do it now, where there's not going to be enough time. We're going to be just one of these other socialist left countries in the world today that have lost their foundation, that have lost their freedoms. And that's not what America's about. America's about moving ahead. We're a leader in the world. We have something to give the world.
Right.
That is this concept of we the people.
Awesome.
It's not we the government, it's we the people.
That's awesome. Well, hey, you've heard it. This is William Owens, TeaPartyExpress.tv. You can learn more about Joe Miller. You see his website right below. God bless. From Alaska.